So we use it as our ERP, so we use it for literally everything. We use the payroll module, we use every module related to construction and project management, and we use all the manufacturing modules. So we have all of our basic AP, AR functionality flowing through, our cash reconciliations flowing through. We actually use the bank feeds for our credit card processing, and from what I told, a little unique where that's not being used a ton yet. So I think we're on the pioneering side of that. So literally any business process just about is flowing in some way into Acumatica and back out. Yeah, so I think a great example is we just got on board with our utilizing the bank feeds for our credit card processing. So that's been a game changer for us where, in finance, we were continually using the source of the credit card statement to get information and transaction detail for many different platforms. And it was just very messy trying to get that information out and then back to users and follow up. And now it's all in Acumatica. Now that it's all automatic, hooked up. We don't have to think about it. It's kind of there, and it's given us great visibility, and it's given our operational partners great visibility. So huge win for us on that side of things. And I think overall, just having most business processes in the same platform, following the same type of functionality, has also been just great. Having kind of consistency has been awesome. And I think the third thing that's really big for us is the fact that it is, we're utilizing the cloud platform. We can kind of use it wherever. We can be, here, the rest of our operations on the East Coast, and we can use it the same thing that they're seeing. We don't have to be VPN'd in, it's just on the cloud. So functionality has been great. Sure. I think one of the things that's great about it is that Acumatica has so much customization capability, but sometimes that can be really overwhelming for companies who are just getting on board and maybe this is their first real ERP. So I know with our company specifically, we struggle with the challenge of just having a lot of people who aren't necessarily IT users and IT folks and don't have that mindset. So when there's so many options, it becomes really challenging for those users to be really effective with the product. So I think that's the one thing that's great, and it's just taking time. So maybe more training and more things like this are great to help onboard those individuals who, there's a lot out there with Acumatica. So helping hone down, okay, here's how it works, and here's what you really need to focus on is probably the big thing that we could use help on, I would say. Yeah, I think for us, I would say in our type of business, and if it was somebody from the same type of business we're looking, I would give it a 10. I think it's exactly what we've needed, and it's done really well for us, especially as we're looking to scale both up and maybe some of our operations down. It's kind of moved with us through that, and it looks like it can continue that way. So I definitely would say, 10 for anyone like us. Yeah, I think, again, from the finance standpoint, maybe being more biased there, it's been really, really great to have easy links between the financial data and ending up with financial statements and clicking links that go back to the source data. So if you want to know what's going on in a specific line in the financials, being able to just double click and get down to, it came from this AP transaction, or it was this labor transaction, that ease of going back and forth has really been awesome. I think that's huge. And on the other side, I think, again, just there are so many things out there that having more training materials and more information on how to use some of these specific pieces, or maybe how to customize, would be really helpful. Just having more of that customization training would be awesome. So I have used quite a few. I've used NetSuite and some of the other Oracle products, and Oracle itself, Oracle Cloud. I've used Viewpoint for the construction business. I've used Computeries and Datros. Those are more of the recent ERPs that I've worked with. For our purposes, I think it does really well. I think it scales appropriately for our business, and allows facets for the construction side as well as manufacturing, which is what we need. So I think it's exactly the right fit for what we need, especially compared to those other ones that I've used. I think this really kind of hits the nail on the head for what we need. I think I'll start with the negative because it's just easier to get that out of the way. With our company, again, struggling with, we're going through kind of a change in regime and overall structure. So going through that and trying to have individuals on board who understand the future and kind of what we want to do, I think that has been a challenge because we're trying to fix processes at the same time we're trying to work through Acumatica, bring everybody up to speed over a pretty short amount of time. So I think that's kind of been that's a challenge right now and has been one of the, I guess, overarching challenges when we've been going through this Acumatica transition for a couple of years. But successes, I think that again we have people who haven't necessarily used a lot of computer functionality who are now in the system all the time and giving us good data and getting good data, and we're getting people way more autonomous where the questions used to be, no matter what it was, go to finance and finance will have to look it up and now it's, we're giving you the tools, you can do it yourself, you don't even need us. You guys can rock this yourself. You don't need assistance with that. And obviously if you need more support, great, but people are doing it themselves. So I think the success side is definitely just that people are autonomous and excited for the different functionality they can just pull out themselves, and the reporting they can see themselves. So I think that's big. So it's probably unfair for me because I came on while it was already there. I could see the value day one, and I came on and still saw some of the legacy system that was out there. So again, for me, I think pretty much day one, we saw a value right away. I did, at least. Speaking with my colleagues on the finance side, same thing. I mean, day one, they were already seeing information be pulled out of the system from individual users versus themselves, which I think is just a huge win. So, I mean, for us, it was pretty much day one, I think, across the board for anyone in finance. A little bit longer for the operational team, but they're definitely seeing it now, so that's good. Sure. I mean, finance with our internal customers, again, it's been with all those operational folks, generally speaking. So giving them the tools to just look things up themselves, that's been a huge help. We've been able to direct them on, hey, here's how you do it yourself. And then we can kind of allow that to flow, and now we don't have to be involved. So huge savings there for sure. Sure. The project, we're definitely still coming on board with some of those individual modules. So I would say in terms of the project construction side, project management, we're using most of the functionality, at least at the ground level. So we're really using that for project budgeting and revenue budgeting and then cost budgeting. So kind of comparing actual to budget for a project, that's been huge. Really all that project module in total, we've been using just all the functionality there that we can. So that's been huge. And then manufacturing, for that side of the industry, we've used a lot of the inventory functions, and that's been great for helping us actually have a true tracking of inventory through the system versus kind of, in a more manual process. So both sides of the industries that we're in have utilized all functionality. Yes, yeah, yep. Yeah. Probably unfair for me to answer that one because I wasn't there for that part. I can answer that one even though I wasn't there, and I would say no, but obviously in the end it was successful. So I think there was a disconnect, but I think it was just a lot of transition during a really crazy time. So I think that was really what caused it. Yeah.